All right, so let's get started. Happy Thursday. Super happy and grateful just to, again, be here with you guys. For the ones who plug in, stay consistent. I'm super happy and grateful for you. It doesn't go unnoticed for sure. And we stay on certain levels on purpose for a reason because, again, mastery takes what? Mastery takes repetition, right? And then having a mentor or coach. So I'm not going to just pile things on you guys if you're not quite ready or you're showing that you're ready just yet. So as we go into mastering the basics, what we have been talking about, okay? And again, keep eye on our schedule. Every Sunday, we'll have a call, and then we'll do a Tuesday morning call and a Thursday evening call. So we'll have a Sunday evening call, right? Tuesday morning call, and then your Thursday evening call. Sunday, I really hope you guys can tune in because we have a special guest coming in, someone who has been tapped into the spiritual side of success way longer than I have. This is a mentor of mine, one of my mentors, and I've invited this individual on a call with us on Sunday. So I hope you guys really show up for it. It is an amazing call. I've done multiple workshops with this individual, and every time it's been nothing but a success. So I've never introduced this mentor to you all, and I'm super excited to do so on Sunday. So please be there, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're super excited. I'm super excited, so I hope you are super excited, all right? And again, what I wanted to do, as we missed a couple of calls when the new schedule came out, I just really had to drain that energy out that wasn't really thriving within the group, and replace it with energy that was going to help us thrive, right? So with that being said, we are going to start where we're at right now. And the ones who are here with me here, during the times where it looks a little slow or it looks like, no one's here, no one's talking or participating, you don't worry about them, you worry about you. For the ones who are tapped in and worry about themselves and really willing to give whatever it is, give whatever it takes to be able to get to that next level, to live that life that they desire, right? Without breaking any laws or anything of that nature, doing things on a civil level. For those of you who are ready to do that, you're tapped in with me, and you won't regret it for sure. So thank you again for that. And as we hop into mastering the basics, right, it starts with number one of course, who do you listen to? Right? Who do you listen to? And this is stuff we're going to keep repeating. You have to keep repeating it because in order to master it, takes repetition, it takes a mentor or a coach. So I'm going to practice what I teach, right? So who do you listen to? You're going to listen to individuals who have the results that you desire, or the ones who are speaking the way that you are trying to speak, or thinking the way that you're trying to think, or being in the environment that you want to be in, an environment as that's going to help you be a better person. Number two, what's your teachability index? From a 1 to 10, since you have been in EIG to where you are right now, where do you feel like your teachability index is at? Has it lowered? Right? Has it went to the next level? Has it went a level higher? A couple of levels higher? Has there been a time within this journey of being within EIG and learning the things that you've been learning with me, has there been a time where your teachability actually fell a little bit and you realized that you were aware of it? All right? Talk to me. Let me know. And with your teachability index, this is your willingness to learn, your willingness to accept change. Your willingness to learn, saying, well, I've been learning it this way. Well, if you always think the way you always thought, you're always going to get what you've always got. And if you've been thinking in a way that are not getting you any results, well, if you're trying to get to the next level, you have to be willing to unlearn that and relearn the right? Number three, with the training balance skill. Okay? You have on one side your why, your desires, right? Your dreams. And then on the other side is your how. That's your skills, the techniques, the methods. So if you say, Chelsea, I want to get out of debt. right? I want to get out of debt. Your why is here. That's your desire. That's your dream. But right now, you say, well, Chelsea, I want to get out of debt, but I don't have enough money. I'm not making enough money to actually get me out of debt right now. I'm making enough money just to make it. Matter of fact, I'm kind of almost not making it. So I don't know how I'm going to get out of debt, right? And with this training balance scale, we're learning to put all of our focus into the why side of it, not the how. Because remember, when your attitude is right, the facts don't count. So on your radar right now, it may look like there's no way for you to get out of debt. But if in your heart and you know in the pit, I know I'm going to get out of debt. I don't know how right now. It looks like there's no way possible, but I know I'm going to get out. Right? I always get out. I always do. I've never, that saying, God doesn't put more on me than I can bear. Right? So that's that part right there. That's that training balance. And then lastly, the 4 steps to processing information. So your 4 steps being, you're at a unconscious incompetent level, meaning you don't know what you don't know. You're at a conscious incompetent level. Now you know what you don't know. You know that you don't know how to do something. You know that you haven't been taking the right steps to really have you tap into that spiritual side of success. Then the next level is conscious competent, right? Now you just have to think about it before you do it. So say for instance with like the morning routine, a lot of us didn't start out being at an unconscious competent level. We were really, really for some of you, when it came to morning routine and how you start your morning determines your day, it really started off being completely unconscious incompetent. You really didn't know how important it was, right? And then you got to that level where you were conscious incompetent to where, okay, I know I haven't been doing this. Now I need to actually figure out what to do to start doing it. Like I've been hearing that it works and it makes a big difference. So now I need to figure out how, right? You're at that conscious incompetent. And then when you figure out the steps of what to do, you come to conscious competent. All right, I know exactly what to do. I don't know it by heart just yet because it's new. It's really new into my thing, so I might need to set me a couple of alarms. I might need to have a couple pin notes around the house to remind me to do the morning routine, or remind me to meditate, or remind me not to pick up my phone, or remind me, whatever that may be. You're at that conscious competent level. Too soon, you get unconscious competent to where you just wake up and it's on autopilot. You go right into it. You go right into meditating. You already know not to touch your phone. You go right into some personal development. Then you go into your visualization. Then you start to breathe, right? Then you start to write out your C-type goal. Then you speak your C-type goal. Then you say out loud affirmations. You're on autopilot. And before you know it, you've gotten your day started, you're dressed, you're ready to go, and everything is going smooth. That's when it's on autopilot. All right? So that's just a recap. And we're going to move to the next level tonight. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the 2 envelopes. The 2 envelopes, all right? The 2 envelopes. I'm going to talk to you guys about this. And again, I don't know if you guys know like my history with this, but I've been studying laws of success, spiritual laws of yoga, or the 7 laws of spiritual success, and Tony Robbins with the Science of Achievement, and Napoleon Hill with Think and Grow Rich, Bob Proctor with Law of Attraction. I've been studying this stuff since 2015, maybe even 2014. But notebooks that I have, like I have this notebook that I found, and this one starts in 2016 right here, right? So this lesson is coming from, honestly, right around this time, 6 years ago. All right, so we're taking it back to 6 years ago. This was June 30th, and this is when I first got into Napoleon Hill with the laws of success and Think and Grow Rich and everything like that. All right, so I think what's been my issue here is because I'll sit and I'll think and I'll be like, gosh, I really have been studying this stuff for a while and been practicing these laws, and I'm still been a student of my own profession and studying this craft. And I realized where maybe possibly people don't trust me in this area too much is because I don't really talk about all of the success that I've had while studying this, right? I think so much I think I get so humbled to where I just like, it's not about me. Like, I know exactly what to do. I've done this stuff. Let's just help you, right? And I forget to mention where, I created my first vision board and I put, a diploma on there, and I had no idea, I had no desire for going to school at that time. And then I put the Air Force symbol on there and levels showing that I was going up to show rank. And then I put a car on there, just the interior of the car. And, I don't mention when I put that on there, I was only had $5 to my name on that vision board. And then within a matter of 2 months, the first thing that happened was me getting promoted in the Air Force. And then the next thing that happened was me being able to get a brand new car. And the car that was on the vision board, the interior of it, and again, I just did the interior. I didn't even care what the outside, the brand or anything. I just said I want a brand new car and I want something like this, not to even realize that I bought that same exact car, just a different model, but or excuse me, different make. That one was a Benz. I got an Audi. Not to mention the fact of the diploma that was on the board. That diploma, I got into school, and the Air Force started paying for my schooling to study entrepreneurship. Um, I put on there a tagline that I use today: "See the future, face the world, unleash your power, and claim your blessings." Didn't even know how that was going to transpire to here right now. Then I go fast forward to where I was practically living out my car at this time, and I made a vision board, and I put the inside of a house on there with different type of furniture, and I said home again. And then within a matter of 6 months, I had that exact same place with that type of furniture, not the same exact color, but it was definitely the same exact type of furniture and the vibe that I had, and I was able to get that, and I wasn't living out my car at that time. Not to mention the time where, I started an Airbnb business within 7 days, right? Literally going from having nothing to saying, okay, this is exactly what I'm going to do, and in 7 days it's going to be it, and I'd be doggone if it didn't happen by the 6th day, right? So I don't speak on a lot of things that I go on, and I have to remember that Chelsea, yes, speak on it, so these individuals can know that what you're teaching, it actually does work. And, not only has it worked for you, but you've done it for other individuals. Your first client that you had was the age of 53. That was literally at that time, I think she was probably 15 years older or 20 years older than what I was at the time when I first started teaching her. And the first day that she came to me, she was broken, completely broken in her marriage, broken in her spirit. And I didn't know how to help her in marriage because I wasn't married, but I knew how to help her in her spirit. And by the time we were done within our 6 months of working together, this individual had written a book, had actually told her childhood traumas that had her broken in her core, right? So this information here, guys, and I can go on and on about different clients. I've had my youngest client being 16 years old, and she being in a household where her family isn't believing in her, and she wants to paint and put her art out, and before you know it, here she is today, and she has over 20,000 followers on Instagram, and people are buying her art, celebrities are buying her art, and she's started her cosmetology journey that she didn't even know she had a passion for. So guys, this stuff works. It hasn't only worked for me, but it's worked for the other people that I've worked with, right? So with that being said, let's get into this lesson here where we talk about the definite of purpose, right? The definiteness of purpose. And your definiteness of purpose, we've already talked about that. That's where whatever the mind can conceive and achieve and bring itself to believe, right? It can have, right? It can achieve. So whatever you can conceive, right, and believe, you can achieve. That's the definite of purpose. Another definite of purpose, right, that we talk about with our C-type goal, that C-type goal that we talk about. That's the power to take possession of your own mind. That's the power to actually take your mind and take the thoughts that you have and turn it into reality, right? And that reality is whatever it is that you desire. Okay, so remember that whatever your mind feeds upon, that's what your mind attracts. So as we talk about the two envelopes, your first envelope, guys, is going to be riches. Okay, if you're not taking notes, you can go ahead and take notes here. Your first envelope is going to be your riches. And the riches, All right, this is where you'll enjoy it if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to the end of your own choice. What does that mean? Okay, again, the riches are, it's for you to enjoy if you take possession of your own mind, okay, and then direct it to the end of your own choice. So all that's saying is you're taking whatever it is that you desire and you're taking it from your mind, right? And you're taking possession of it and you're already knowing that it's yours and you're claiming it and you have no doubt about it. And then you wait for it to manifest into reality. So that may be sound health, that may be peace of mind, that may be love, that may be freedom from fear and worry, that may be positive mental attitude, that may be material riches. It's whatever it is, it's your choice. That's the riches. That's the first envelope. The second envelope are the penalties. All right, now the penalties are the price you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your own mind, okay, and then direct it towards the end of your own choice. Okay, so again, penalties, that's the second envelope. This is the price that you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your own mind and direct it towards the end upon your own choice. So that's that, if you wanted sound health, material riches, peace of mind, you want to find the love of your life, you want to find, be free of fear, worry, doubt, that's that. But if you don't take possession of your own mind, the penalties come in ill health, they come in fear and worry, they come in forms of indecision and doubt, frustration and discouragement, poverty and want and greed, and just the whole other flock of things like envy, jealousy, anger, hatred, superstition, right? Those are the penalties. So what are the two envelopes? You guys go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're paying attention, taking notes, what are the two envelopes?
Riches and penalties.
Riches and penalties, right. So how do you go about experiencing the riches? Right? How do you go about experiencing the riches? First, and a lot of us we're already starting to experience the riches right now. The ones who are on this call, because we've heard this stuff before. But again, in order to master anything, mastery takes time along with repetition and a mentor or coach. Okay? So how do you go about experiencing the riches? First, you want to get you a pocket-sized notebook. All right? If you don't want to have a notebook, just get you maybe a note card. Okay? Note card. And on page 1 of the notebook, you're going to write down a clear description of a desire you want in life. So you guys probably have already been doing this, right? With our C-type goal. This is what I'm saying. Okay? You're going to write down a clear description of a major desire you want in life. And then on page 2, or on the other side of the note card, all right, you're going to write down a clear description of what you plan to give in return of receiving the desire. Okay? So you get your note card or a notebook, pocket-sized notebook, something you can keep pulling out and looking at. That's the point of keeping it small, right? Something you can keep in your pocket, keep in your side bag or your purse or whatever it may be. Something you keep there and then you can pull it out easily, okay? Whatever that may be. And on page 1 or side 1 of it, you're going to write down a clear description of a major, that's that C-type goal, a major desire that you want in life. And then on the other side of that, you're going to write down a clear description of what you plan to give in return of receiving the desire, right? And you're going to start giving immediately. You're going to start giving that immediately. Okay? So how I say, like, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am earning in excess of $12,500 per month while impacting. Here's what I plan to give. I plan to impact thousands of lives, and I'm giving out elite information through speaking, teaching, and coaching. That's what I'm giving out. I'm giving out the elite I'm giving out the information that they don't want you to know. So that's what I plan to give, right? What do you plan to give? And the next step, you're going to memorize steps 2 and 3, what I just told you. So step 1 was to get you that pocket-sized notebook or note card. Step 2 is write down that clear goal, major goal that you want out of life. Step 3, on the flip side, write out a clear description of what you plan to give in return for receiving the desire. And step 4 is you're going to memorize steps 2 and 3. You're going to repeat it out loud. You're going to write it out. And here, guys, this was a string. This is 2016 here. I put down write it out and say it out loud at least 12 times each day. Okay? So when you repeat it out loud, here's what I want you to do. We're going to put an addition onto this. Okay? We're going to put an addition onto this before we wrap up with the final step. When you memorize 2 and 3, your desire and then what you plan to give for that desire, and like I said, I put down repeat them out loud at least 12 times each day. I want you to look at yourself and do that. Because the way to your soul is through your eyes, right? Just think about when you are maybe being intimate with someone, your significant other, right? When you're maybe looking at them in the eyes, how you feel them more. Or maybe you're having a conversation with someone in business and you need to look them in the eyes and let them know how serious you are, and they can see that within you. They can see it in your eyes that you mean business, right? The way to the soul is through the eyes. So I need you to look at yourself and speak this out. It may feel awkward and you might say, well, I don't want anybody to hear me. But at this point, guys, I've gotten to the point I'm saying it in the gym. I say it out loud in the gym. I'm looking myself in the mirror. I'm not worried about anybody else. And far as they know, I'm listening to something crazy in my mind, in my head, right? Far as they know. So speak it to yourself, and you can do it morning, noon, and night, because if I said do it 12 times a day, well, you can do it 4 times in the morning, looking at yourself, 4 times midday, looking at yourself, and then 4 times right before you go to bed, speak to your soul. As soon as you wake up, you speak to it. Midday, maybe on your lunch break, or you're in the car. Sometimes I don't have a mirror in front of me, so I'll just do the car visor mirror, or I'll do my phone camera mirror and look into myself, look at myself right in my eyes. You can make it work. Trust me. How bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do? Whatever it takes. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So if that means I've got to look a little crazy and say it in the mirror at the bathroom, and people are coming in and out, I'm going to do whatever it takes. Right? I'm going to pay the price now so I can play and live however I want the rest of my life later. Okay? So, in step 5 with this, end your statements here. Okay? This is how I want you to end your statement. So, it'll be like this. For me, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning in excess of $12,500 per month while impacting 7,000 plus lives through speaking, teaching, and coaching on elite information. In the statement, just like this: I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom at which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth. Okay? Here it is. Write this down. This is how you end your statement. I ask not for more riches, comma. I ask not for more riches, comma, but for more wisdom. At which to make wiser use, but for more wisdom at which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth. Okay? I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, at which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth. What are the riches we were given at birth? God gave us this mind here. That's the richest land. right? So I don't ask for more riches. I'm asking for more wisdom. So that way I can make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth. This body, being able to transmit frequency, high vibrations. We don't want the riches just to throw away. We want the riches so that way we want the wisdom to be wise with the riches. I heard something. I was at my mentor's conference, and his billionaire mentor, Tim. Tim said, we've got a house we're going over to live at in Africa for about a month. We're going to visit over there, and he says, it's fully staffed. And he says, I didn't really buy that house just to say I bought it. I mean, I guess I could have just got a hotel. I have the money to do so. He said, but I got the house to be able to give back because I know I need the employees and they need money to feed their kids. So I'm getting the house to be able to give them a job so that way I can pay them. And so I'm being of service to them as they're being of service to me. That's what love is, to be able to give, and then that person, thing that you're giving into is giving back into you. Just like every time we take inhales and exhales, we're already practicing the law of giving and receiving, right? As the universe, the earth gives us oxygen, we take it in, but we also give it back. We're helping each other out. Wow, I hope you guys got something from that right there, right? So this is how you go about experiencing the envelope of the riches. Okay? You're going to write you out a clear description of a major goal or desire that you want out of life. On the other side of that, you're going to write out a clear description of what you plan to give for receiving that. Then you're going to memorize that, and you're going to say it out loud in the mirror, looking in your eyes at least 12 times a day. And you're going to believe in it. And that's where that helps build the belief as well as you look at yourself. You hear yourself, you see yourself, you're speaking it. That belief is going to go. Just wait how your belief, you think your belief is high right now, just wait after you try this exercise consistently. All right? And then you end the statement with, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom at which to make wiser use of the riches you gave me at birth. Okay? So let's talk about the habit, and then we're going to get into the charts. We're going to look at some charts here at the end of this call. Thursdays are going to be mindset and chart work, but I like to get the mindset out first, and then we'll get right into the chart work. And I want to give you guys a challenge, okay? And it's called the habit of going the extra mile. The habit of going the extra mile. And the formula here is just 4 steps to make up this formula, 4 components. And component number 1 is quality of service you render. That's component number 1, the quality of service that you render. This is the habit of going the extra mile here, guys. So it doesn't matter in what industry. You're going to see how this adds up to you, how you can do this. Okay? Doesn't matter what you're doing right now in life. You can apply this. So here's the formula. Component number 1, the quality of service you render. Component number 2, the quantity of service you render. So you've got the quality of service, then you've got the quantity of service you render. All right? Number 3, component number 3, this is the mental attitude in which you render the service. Okay? This is the mental attitude or the mental state that you're in which you render the service. Okay? This is helping you here. Remember, all right, follow me here. This is going right in the line with step number 3 on the riches envelope. Remember, How we're going to experience the envelope that contains the riches. Remember, number one, we write out that major goal that we desire. And then number two, we write out a clear description of what we plan to give. What service are we planning to render? This will help you out right here. Going the extra mile. This will help you out with that. Okay? Component number three, mental attitude in which you render the service. And then component number four is the compensation you get from your services. This helps you with going the extra mile. Number four sums it up, puts the cherry on top with the compensation you get from your services. Okay? And again, these services, guys, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're working, that you have your own business. If you're still working a 9 to 5, trust me, you can be of a service in that workspace. And before you know it, maybe you're getting paid $25 an hour, but after you show yourself as an asset and you render this service with quality, in quantity, and in a great mental attitude, you can go from 25 an hour to 28 an hour. Okay? So keep your mind open here. We're almost done. So the benefits of this principle of going the extra mile, all right, it's going to bring you the favorable attention of those who can and will provide you with the opportunities to promote yourself in a better circumstance. Okay? You're going to get favorable attention of those who can and those who will provide you with opportunities to promote yourself in a better circumstance. In other words, that's just saying, guys, the universe is going to put people in situations in front of you that will allow what you desire to promote yourself, whatever it is that you want to be, want to do. The universe will put you in front of situations and people that's going to work in your favor. Okay? Another benefit. There's a few benefits. I'm going to name, that's how we're going to end this. We're going to end this on benefits here as to why you should do this. If you guys took my Science of Effective Communication course, you're understanding, remember what I talked about with how you give a talk? The why or the how, right? All right. I've got you through the how. Now I'm telling you why you should do this. Okay. I've already let you know how to do it. How do you go about? I've told you what the riches are, what the penalties are. How do we experience the riches? I've told you how to do that. All right. Now I'm going to teach you and let you know why you should. So number two, benefits number two, it will place back of you, in other words, it's going to back you up, the great natural law of increasing returns through which the service you render will bring back greater than average compensation. All right, I'll say that again. It will place back of you the great natural law of increasing returns through which the service you rendered, the service you decided to render, it's going to bring back greater than average compensation. When you go the extra mile, this is what you get in return. When you get in that habit of going the extra mile, this is what comes back to you. So number three, following this habit, okay, it's going to help you excel in your line of work, whatever it is that you're doing. Whether you're trying to build a team right now, you're trying to become a better trader, you're trying to start your own business, you're trying to get your brand off the ground and get it all around the world, you're working at a warehouse right now, this is where you're at right now in life, you're working a 9 to 5 right now. Look, you get in the habit of going the extra mile, you're going to become an expert in what it is that you do. Okay? If you work for a salary or if you work for wages, this habit will give you the preference when working, said that wrong. All right, so I'll say it again. If you work for a salary or you're working for wages, this habit will give you preference when work is slow or others are laid off. Okay? All that's saying is, how do I say this? I know how I'm going to say it. All right. 1 second. You guys come with me, and I know exactly how I'm going to break this down to you. All right. Okay. So, when it comes to, I'm looking here at my mirror right here, guys, and this, what I'm about to say to you, makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. This is the formula for getting rich. Again, the formula to experience the richest envelope. All right. So our rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to our contribution, our services. So that doesn't matter whether you're working a 9 to 5 or whether you're working your own job, you're self-employed, you're with some type of big organization maybe. All right, hopefully that made sense right there. But pretty much you become valuable, okay? You become an asset to your company, to your environment. They will choose you over someone who's not really doing that. That's all I'm saying. If the job says, oh, we've got to lay off 50% of our workers, best believe they're going to weed out the ones who are not of asset to them. And if you show yourself of that, you show yourself as an asset, you won't be in the 50% getting laid off. You'll be in the 50% that stays and with higher pay. Let me know that makes sense. That's how I wanted to say that. That's how I wanted to say that. With the, if you're working for salary or wages, going the extra mile, you'll have the preference to work if work ever gets slow or if others are laid off. Okay, you'll have that preference over others. Okay? And the last two, or three, the habit of going the extra mile, it's going to improve your personality. It's going to help you develop a keen and alert imagination. All right? And it's going to inspire you to move on your own personal initiative instead of waiting to be told what to do. You're going to go ahead and know what to do. You're not going to have to be told. You're going to already know, and you're already going to take an initiative to do so. Right? Pretty much, if you know, when mom comes home and she says that you set out that chicken, the chicken's already set out and it's already thawed out. And really, if you want to go above and beyond, you've been watching her season, so you already went on, thawed it out, cleaned it the right way, seasoned it and all. She has nothing else to do but just start the oven, right? You don't have to be told what to do. You're already taking initiative to do so. All right? So, the habit of going the extra mile, guys, it helps you master the destructive habit of procrastination. Okay? So, number 5, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 was this habit is going to excel your line of work. 5 was if you work for salary or wages, this habit is going to give you preference when work is slow and others are laid off. That's 5. For 6, it's going to improve your personality. 7, it's going to help you develop a keen and alert imagination. And 8, it's going to inspire you to move on your own personal initiative. You're not going to have to be told what to do. You're going to already been and done it because you're taking initiative. Okay? So, again, this habit of going the extra mile, it's helping you master that destructive habit of procrastination. Right? And when you're beating the habit of procrastination, right? That definite of purpose that we talked about, it stops you from drifting through life without knowing what you are, what you want, where you're going. when you're going the extra mile, you're not procrastinating. And when you start to procrastinate, you give your mind a chance to drift. And when you drift, you start to think about the what ifs, and the worry starts to come in, and the doubt starts to come in. And as you're drifting through life. And before you know it, January 1, you said you were doing something, and then before you know it, it's July 31st, and you haven't done anything because you've been drifting through. Okay? Go the extra mile so you always have something to be proud of. Do more than what you have, than what you're required to do. So if normally you usually just kind of wake up, say for instance, it's completely where you're starting fresh to where, you know what, I've just been waking up and doing my morning routine, right? Meaning I get up, I meditate, I don't look at my phone, I write out my C-type goal, I say my affirmations, and that's it. Well, now let's do the habit of going the extra mile, and maybe now add reading onto it. And no one says you got to read a whole book, but let's just do 5 pages a day. And then once you get into that habit, go into the next habit of doing a little bit more and do 10 pages a day. All right? This is the habit of going the extra mile. You can start baby steps, and before you know it, you're going to be challenging yourself with so more to keep going. You're reading. Okay, now I'm reading 30 minutes a day. What can I do more? All right? Well, maybe I'll start going to the gym now. I'll just start going for 20 minutes. And you start going for 20 minutes, and you're like, you know what? Let me just do a little bit more than I have to. Let's go the extra mile. I'm going to do a whole hour a day. Now, instead of going once a week, I think, I'm going to go an extra mile. I'm going to start going twice a week. And before you know it, I'm going the extra mile, and I'm going to start going 4 times a week. Are y'all getting what I'm meaning by going the extra? This is the habit of going the extra mile. Before you know it, you're starting to incorporate going the extra mile in all aspects of your life. It first just started with reading 5 pages a day, and before you know it, you're in the gym consistently. And now you've been going to the gym consistently. Okay, well, what else can I do more to better me? All right, what else can I do more? Maybe I'll start going to a networking event once a week, or maybe I'll go to a seminar, quarterly. Now I've been going to my seminars and stuff, maybe I ought to hire me a mentor. Maybe I ought to really take a course here and start applying this stuff. Let me start getting more. Let me go the habit of extra mile. Let me do more than what I'm required to do. I don't have to take these courses, but you know what? I want to be better at this. I want to learn more. My teachability is at an all-time high. All right? So here's my suggestion for you. All right? Start tomorrow. In whatever occupation you are engaged in, I want you to render some form of useful service to someone near you, which you're not expected to render. Okay? And you're also not expecting any compensation or asking for it. Okay? So start tomorrow. Whatever it is that you do, get engaged with your occupation. All right? And I want you to render a form of useful service to someone near you, which you're not expected to render service to them, and you're also not expecting or asking for compensation. Okay? Whatever that may be. If you're good at, helping someone with their resume, and you know somebody in your workplace, they need their resume tweaked. Hey, you know what? Let me help you out with that. Let me actually see what it is. Okay, cool. Actually, I know exactly some words you can take out here and you put in. Don't worry about it. I'll help you out. I'll get it knocked out for you, and then I'll get it back to you tomorrow. Right? Or maybe it's something dealing with trading, right? You know what? Actually, won't you just trade here with my team, or why don't you hop on a call with me? Let's do a live trading session together. Normally, you might charge, $300 for that. Let's just do it together. I got you. Don't even worry about it. Let me break down some of the basics to you and show you what I got. Okay? Render this service in a pleasing mental attitude in a way that shows you enjoy doing it. Have passion behind it. Have a lot of energy, high vibrations behind it. Okay? That's step 2. Render the service in a good attitude, in a pleasing mental attitude. Make it clear that you're enjoying this. Make it clear that you're in a state of love and gratitude. And lastly, I want you to practice it for 7 days. Let's do it for 7 days. Okay? In succession. Meaning every day you've got to be willing to render this service without compensation. Do it in a pleasing mental attitude. Show that you enjoy doing it. 7 days. And then I want you to document and become aware of the atmosphere, of your atmosphere, how it's changed. Notice your level of enjoyment when you're coming in association with others. Okay? You don't have to make known this plan to anyone. I'll let you know right now. You don't have to let anyone know that you're going to do this. Do it in the most natural way possible. Just do it supernatural. Look, I honestly just did it without even thinking about it. This kind of came back to me saying natural because I came to someone and I said, look, I've been noticing your consistency here, and it's just on my heart. I really just want to help you further in your journey. Choose a course. Choose one of my courses, and let me help you out. It was supernatural, and I really just thought of it by reading that right there. Like, you don't have to let anybody know you're doing it. I didn't. But just do it and do it in a natural way possible. And by the end of the 7th day, you're going to find yourself much happier. You're going to find yourself better liked. Not that you care being liked by anyone around you, but you're going to find yourself where people they're going to be more attracted to you. They're going to feel your energy. They're going to feel your positive vibration. And when you feel this state of happiness, this state of love, gratitude, your people are attracted to your high energy. I think you're going to forever love going the extra mile. All right? If you guys got something from that, let's see some 100s in the chat. If you got something from that, let's see some 100s in the chat. Any questions? Any comments? Before we move to the charts. Questions, comments, testimonials. Nice. Spiritually, I'm aware and receiving this at a different level, and I feel it. Wow. Very nice. Powerful. Very nice. All right. So, looking at Tesla here, she's just kind of been consolidating, guys. Right in between these two zones. And as we come a little lower, we can see she's a little choppy here. We do see this downtrend where she fell from the zone here. I do believe that if she breaks this high right here at this 723 area, she could be coming to feel an imbalance here, right? Yeah, for sure. I remember when I introduced Chris to this guy, he forever listened to him. He probably still listens to him. All right, so looking here, we've got some structure right up in there, and then structure here. So yeah, that's what I see here. And like I said, if she does break this high, I'm pretty sure she'll be coming and filling in imbalance with this impulsive candle right here. And I'll look for her to, possibly just come and maybe reject there. Just look once. She's certainly playing in this area, so let's push it on. That's Tesla. Looking at Nas. Nas is just hanging out in the middle, and we don't diddle in the middle here off of the 4 hour. And as we go down to the 1 hour, we can see very nice downtrend here. It was pretty neat for a second until we had this breakout above, right? So we've got a little structure right down in here. And we kind of have a high point here, more structure here. And we can see where she is, like I said, broken out of this downtrend that we were on. Higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low. She broke this higher low right here. And what I'd like to see is this is possibly a break and retest, or kind of what's happening here. I'm going to pay attention to this structure right up in there. Let's go down to the 30-minute, and we see it indeed. She did a stop hunt here, impulse out, impulse back in, came back, retested beautifully, and fell all the way down. And now here she is back here again. So trying to see if she's doing a stop hunt move or if she is kind of breaking and retesting. She could very well, as she's impulsed out and impulsed back in, she could very well come, touch here, and then drop, right? So what that would look like, so risking about 40. And if she comes down to kind of touch this trend line here, we see her going about 102, risking 4,402 points. So we'll see kind of how she plays out here. There's definitely some structure down that could be hit. Where she could just come, where she broke out of this trend line here, come back, touch, and then go, right? So if she does do a breakout, impulse out, impulse back in with this retest and drop, we've got a macro pivot point sitting right here, where also our TP is sitting at. That's a horrible line, so let me just use my tools. Macro pivot point sitting here. So a TP also lined up with that, as that is the trend line where it could retest from, right? So she did give us a little retest, a little bit of rejection here. And it looks like she just closed bearish right here. So if we take this trade, let's just say we took the trade here for a sell. Risking about 47. And if we were to take it down here, risking 47 for 113. All right. It is Thursday. Reversals happen usually at the end of the week. So if we kind of start off where she started off at this week, she sold. She could be now selling just to turn around and buy. All right, but we'll see kind of what happens there with Nas. But Nas, the potential, like I said, stop hunt move, rejection here for her to continue falling. All right, so SPX, I caught this breakout. So break, retest, hopped in the trade. The TP1 got hit, and she didn't make it all the way down to the bottom just yet. I've already been knocked out in profit here. As you see, she's back at break even. I think my knockout in profit was, let's go down a little bit more, somewhere around here. Yeah. So as she fell, she came back, and when she broke this area here and she came, I went on and put my stop loss in profit till right about here. And when she turned around, that's where it got me. So you can see even right here, she kind of did like a little stop hunt on this zone. If you look to the left, this is the zone. Here. All right. So zone here where price broke out, broke back in, did a retest here, and then she went, right? So little reversal action that happened there. If we look all week, she's been selling, get to the end of the week, and she gives us a reversal move for a buy up, right? So that is SPX. Not a bad move here. So now I'll just let SPX kind of sit. I see she kind of came up to her top here. And we'll just let her sit here to kind of see what she's going to do with these zones. Erase this one. All right. See a nice structure here. And what could happen here, guys? I can already see this forming a little bit. We do see like what could be like an upside down, maybe head and shoulders. I don't trade that just much, but when I see the pattern, I will pay attention to it. So I can see where she broke out, retested, fell, impulsed out, impulse back in, retested, went up. Here we are with an impulse out, impulse back in. She could retest here, fall, just to go back up. Now, why would she stop here? Well, if we look here to the left, we can see we've got a tad bit of imbalance. All right, and boom. All right. So we could see her potentially come here, fill in that imbalance, and go right back up, completing the other shoulder of the reverse. Okay, so that's a possibility that we could see. Possibility. Not guaranteed just yet, as she is still on an obvious downtrend here. Okay. And then with gold, I've got these two zones fairly close together with gold. So kind of what I'm waiting to see is, maybe she'll break and retest and just fall here. That'll be nice. Maybe I can catch a quick sale from here. But honestly, it's not a bad idea just to wait for her to come down here and see how she reacts if she'll buy. Because the last time she was here, look at this. Last time she's in the zone, bought, 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 bought. It could possibly happen again, right? So that's gold. And you're just being patient here. We've got a macro pivot point right here that we can see she broke, retest, and it looks like she's trying to continue lower. Well, if we go down to the 1 hour, yes, macro pivot point. 2 consecutive bullish candles here. She broke the first time, retested and went. Here she is again, retesting that, right, to fall again. So that's gold. Okay, so with gold, we could just start to see her right off of this zone right here. Just kind of see her fall. And we'd like her to fall right into this zone right at the bottom. Okay, so getting this candle to possibly close bearish, depending on where she closes bearish at, it might not be this far up. But just saying, if we did take this trade, very nice trade, risking 7 for 23. Not a bad trade for this sale. Okay. If she really is breaking and retesting, it's something you could just observe, kind of see what happens tomorrow. Okay. Almost done here with UCAB. This is the consolidation we had here. Hone in on it just a little bit more. This is the old stop hunt move I took. You saw she impulsed out, impulsed back in here, retested, she went, retested again, and then she definitely went. So let's move this up here. Zoom. All right, so if we zoom in here, this is our structure. And you can see where price is broken above this resistance area, but she didn't come back and actually retest here. She kind of stopped right before it, and now she's consolidating. So if we just open this up a little bit, choppy, annoying structure that I don't like to look at is sitting here. Yeah. This little bit of structure is sitting right up in here. And yeah, I'm not really sure what she's doing. So if you just wanted to maybe monitor something like that, if anything, just take you a box and just kind of put it around it and monitor as she consolidates in this area, because it would be nice if we could just get her to, pull back here and then continue higher. All right. And meet that next high right up here. But patience, right? Patience, patience, patience. All right, and then looking at GU got a little bit in profit, and then she just kind of turned around a little bit. So huge downtrend here. See it clearly, downtrend. And was trying to see if this was some type of stop hunt. You can see here where she impulsed out, impulsed back in. She retested here and touched, and then she started to go up. Fell a little bit, got back into high profit. It was looking good for me, and then she just turned around. So she's really following this downtrend here. At that point, when we look at her structure, structure right up in here. Yeah, very choppy structure up in here, so I'm not going to force it up in here. I'm just going to wait to see how she plays out tomorrow. Okay? How she plays out tomorrow. So, that concludes our session looking at Nas. Nas is showing just a tad bit of profit right up in here already off of that impulse out, impulse back in, rejection here. So we're already seeing her in profit there. SPX is starting to fall as well. Okay. Impulse out, impulse back in. We got that bullish retest and then that bearish rejection there. So risk to reward is not worth it, of course, but we're looking to see if she'll fall right down in here and push back up. And then same thing for Naj, seeing if she'll fall and then push back up. All right. And we're looking for gold to push down. All right. So gold is kind of buying to sell while Nas is selling to buy. All right. Okay. So I'll take that off. So we're just looking at gold, SPX, and Nas. All right. Gold's kind of pushing up just a tad bit, but again, what we're hoping to see is her to push up just to continue selling. All right. So it's about an hour of our time. Went over just by a couple of minutes, but it's all good. Great call. Happy Thursday again. Take these notes, apply these notes, and actually live out to that challenge. Start to apply that challenge that I gave you of the habit of going the extra mile and see how that changes in your life, all right? And then rendering that service, rendering a service without asking for any type of compensation, not even being expected to do so. You're just doing it in a natural, in a state of love and gratitude, genuine way, right? So I'll see you guys on Sunday for our special guest. Please make sure you show up. This is really we're going to really tap into how to actually visualize and be able to start seeing our C-type goals, our desires in clear reality, right? How to actually start living in it. So show up on Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you guys there. And in the meantime, remember to see the future, face the world, unleash your power, and most of all, claim your blessings. Love you guys. See you.